Three, two, one. All right, we're live. David here with Andrew again. We're gonna recap the Vikings, Bears, and Packers game. Very upsetting game for me. I have a lot to say. I'm
Go
gonna let
ahead.
I'm gonna let Andrew go first though, but I'm just gonna go through some stats on the game first, and then we'll dive into the game. So sorry guys, should have had that pulled up by now. Uh, but let me go ahead and pull it up. So the stats, you got Caleb Williams, 21 for 29, 148 yards, one touchdown. Malik Willis, 10 for 13, 136 yards. DeAndre Swift carried the ball for 20 times, 65 yards, one touchdown. Emmanuel Wilson, 14 carries, 73 yards, one touchdown. Receiving, DJ Moore, 9 catches, 86 yards. And Malik Heath, 3 catches, 53 yards. And those are like the main ones. Um, Now I'm gonna let Angie talk, but before he goes, one thing I want to say is with Caleb Williams only throwing for 148 yards and DeAndre Swift only averaging 3.2 a carry on 20 carries, you gotta find a way to win that game offensively, man. But I'll get into it. But Andrew, go ahead. I know it was very disappointing today, and go ahead. What do you think about the game?
Yeah, no, it's like I said when we got off of the watch party. This is a very comical loss. Like you, it's just it's ridiculous. This this is a good team, not a great team, like we have mentioned in past lives and recaps. I don't even know how good they actually are, to be honest with you. Um, I think our defense played well enough again, like they have been all season, to win this game. The 24 points does not show how well the defense actually played, right? Um, Now you wish on that last drive that the middle of the field wasn't open when they were trying to cover the outside zones, the sidelines or whatever on the right before they kicked the field goal. But overall, I think the defense played well. The offense is the issue. I think that if we have 17 weeks worth of data that's saying this the offense is the issue. When the offense wasn't the issue, when we're a high flying team, was against a lot of other bad teams besides the Bears, right? Like we beat the Colts, we beat the Titans, we beat um, Miami, all those teams that were pretty bad at the time. That's when our offense looked good. But against either divisional opponents or top tier teams, for whatever reason, our offense cannot get it together. And I know you're probably going to talk on it a little bit. I think it does have to come down to coaching. I think it does. Like I've always said, players got to play, and I will stick to that. But that that last offensive drive that we had, that we got the turnover, our defense created a turnover for you in Bears territory, and you're playing hurry up, like you gotta score a touchdown. All we needed was the field goal to win, but you only waste 40 seconds off the clock on three plays or whatever. Like that's bad. That is bad. That, like I said, and I'm a Matt defender. I will defend Matt. Can't. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm not gonna talk bad. I'm not gonna say negative things, but I'm not gonna defend him anymore. I'm not gonna try to defend him. So if people are gonna say this is on Matt, Matt needs to be fired. I'm not saying he needs to be fired, but I'm not gonna try to defend it anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I gotta say about that.
Yeah. I don't think it's an offensive issue, if I'm being honest. I think it's a coaching issue. I think offensively we did enough to win the game. I mean, I think coaching has, at least the last two games, coaching killed us this game and it killed us last game. Coaching on that last drive, you have a minute 49 left on the clock. And you should end the game with the ball. Or the Chicago Bears should get the ball with less than 30 seconds. However, you come out, you run the ball, and then you hike it on second down with like 20 something seconds left on the play clock. And then you throw it or you threw it on second down, I can't remember. And then on third down, you still have like 20 seconds on the play clock too. So when the Bears got the ball, I think they had like 50 something seconds. Well, if you take those 20 seconds, that's 10 seconds left of game time. The Bears aren't doing anything with 10 seconds. So we can blame offense all we want, but the game worked out to the point where the offense should have done enough. Now, I think a lot of people just want to see the Packers offense dominant, and we're not dominant. That's why people think, oh, the offense is the issue. Well, we're not dominant, but we move the ball. We move the ball. And like another thing I want to talk about, last week against the Vikings, when we didn't kick that field goal for 3, what was the big talk? Oh, Reed needs to catch the ball. Well, let's talk about what that offense did before Reed dropped the ball. They moved the ball down the field from the 20-yard line all the way to put you in field position to take 3. They moved the ball. They did what they needed to do to get points. And then we're mad at Reed for dropping the ball on 4th down. Why? The offense did good before that, and we're going to judge Reed off one play? I mean, it's like, hey, coach, we moved the ball down the field for you. We put us in an opportunity to get points. Let's go get the points. And LaFleur's like, nah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to go for it on 4th down. Like, I can't get behind that kind of coaching. I mean, I'm not going to get mad at Reed for dropping a pass that wasn't even perfect on 4th down. And no, this is a coaching issue. Now, of course, let's get back to today's game. Prop to the Bears. I don't think they look dominant either, but they capitalize off our mistakes. And I think every team capitalizes off our mistakes. Like we cannot combat that. Like if we do not take points, if we do not manage time well, if we do not do good situational play calling, we lose. It doesn't matter if it's the Bears or the Lions. And we saw that last week against a good team. We saw it this week against a bad team. Like you have to play better situational football. You got to play smart. And what scares me is the fact that Matt does not know how to time manage a last drive with 1:49 left on the clock, with the Bears only one timeout left. The fact that he does not know how to manage that scares me. Like it scares me that you do not know how to manage that well, dude. How can I trust you? How can I trust you to lead my team? Like, so I don't think it's a defensive problem. I don't think it's an offensive problem. I think it's a coaching problem. I have always had 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Matt LaFleur. I think I officially have 2 feet out now. I don't trust him to lead my team. Like I said, it's not my job to fire him, so I'm not going to say he needs to be fired, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him. But I will be sitting down watching the playoffs. I will be hoping Matt LaFleur to prove me wrong. But as of right now, I don't trust him to lead this team anywhere. Now, before you reply on that, I want to pull up something how Matt LaFleur has done as a coach with the Packers. So, why is it not showing me? Let me see. Oh, why am I? Okay, give me a second, guys. Go ahead, Andrew. It's gonna take me a while.
No, I was gonna say I think what people were talking about with the offensive issues, it's more being consistent rather than anything. Because if you look at the drives throughout the season, there was a lot of times where 3 and out, punt. We would move the ball, then a penalty would bring us back. We were never really consistent throughout the thing. Now I know every team is not going to score on every possession they get. I get that, but some type of consistency, especially when our defense holds the other team to, we get a turnover or we get a stop on downs or whatever the case may be. It always seems like when our defense did that, our offense gave the ball right back, whether it would be a 3 and out or a turnover. And now that's not going to – we got to be able to sustain drives, right? I think I was looking at today, the first 3 drives or whatever it was like punt, field goal, whatever it was. And I'm like, man, like we only took 5 plays on that one, 4 plays on that one. And I think our field goal one was a little bit longer. Like that's where I think a lot of people are like, we got to be more consistent on offense. I think I think that's the issue.
Yeah, and another thing, on not only on that 149 last possession, not only did we manage that terrible, but the Bears saved their timeout because you called timeout. Why the fuck are you calling timeout on a 4th down? I don't understand. You stop the clock. You give the Bears more time. And even if you do call a timeout, call it when the play clock is at 1, not 20 something. Like, what are we doing? Like, and that's what I'm saying. This is why I don't trust LaFleur. I don't trust him. He doesn't know what he's doing. The game moves too fast for him. It does. He does not know how to keep up with the game. And I want to share something. Matt LaFleur came in 2019. 2019, he went to the NFC Championship. 2020, he went to the NFC Championship. Now, look, he starts to decline after that. 2021, he gets eliminated in the divisional round. 2022, he misses the playoffs. 2023, you make it to the divisional round as a 7th seed. You're supposed to get better. Instead, you're a 7th seed again this year. He's not getting better. He's not, and listen, I am not going to blame this on, Rodgers left and we renewed with Jordan Love. When they interviewed Brian Gutekunst and said, is this a rebuild year? He said, no, we're going to win a Super Bowl. That's what Brian Gutekunst said. So that tells me the front office knew what they were doing all along, and it's not working out. It's not panning out. And so front office, LaFleur, they don't get a pass with Aaron Rodgers leaving. They don't. Because even if we're going to give him a pass on the Aaron Rodgers thing, you should still be better than last year, and you're not. You're not.
They are. They technically are.
Because of the record?
Yeah.
Dude, we play the AFC South and the NFC West. Both divisions were trash. Of course, we're going to have more wins than last year. But you're still 7th seed. Why are other teams exceeding you? That's the issue. Other teams are exceeding you. So did you really get better? I don't think you did.
I mean, you got it because last year, were the Packers expected to make the playoffs last year?
No, they were not expected to. No,
they were not expected to playoffs. They made the playoffs. Were they expected to get whooped by the Cowboys? They were expected to get whooped by the Cowboys. What did they do? They beat the Cowboys. So now, if you're gonna say they stagnated out from last year, I can't say they got worse. Like, yes, if you're looking at the round, like, yes, but
I think defensively we got better, but I just think if you're a good coach, I mean, because like let's be honest, Andrew. Let's be honest here. The time management from today's game, the leaving points on the board from last game. Do you honestly think Vince Lombardi would like let all that shit fly?
No, I mean,
we weren't alive then, but like we know the type of coach he was. Do you honestly think he would let the shit fly? What's going on in Green Bay right now? I don't. And that's what I want to see from LaFleur. I mean, dude, like Green Bay is not what they were in the Vince Lombardi days. And that's sad. It's sad. Like we got to get back to that, man. We got to get back to that. You got to.
Well, that's kind of hard to say because back in that era, they ran the ball a lot. I mean, this is a pass heavy league now. So like, I mean, different eras, man.
Pass heavy league. Then why go spend all that money on Josh Jacobs?
They didn't really spend that much money on Josh Jacobs.
They're giving him $12 million a year for a running back. That's pretty. What is that the highest?
No, like say more.
I don't know, man. I don't trust LaFleur. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna defend him, but because he played, that was awful today. But like I can't say that they've gotten worse when they changed over a whole new regime. It's like a whole new regime.
Should we have one today?
My question is when teams do this, right? When teams have their star quarterback, the receiver, their team, and then they flip the book. A lot of times they are losing a lot of games. Like they have top 10 picks.
Do what? Say that again.
Huh?
Say that again.
So like when teams like the Patriots, let's take the Patriots for example. Patriots left from Tom Brady. They were a worse team that they had to go get a top quarterback in the top 5 drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Like when teams do that, they typically get a lot worse. We barely got worse, and we're still making the playoffs. So it's not like.
Well, hold on. The only reason why we didn't get worse is because we already had a first-round draft pick on the team for 3 years. That's the only reason.
Okay, you're making my point. So that's the way they do business. And so they know that, okay, that's what I'm saying. We don't rebuild, we reload, right?
Well, okay, so here's my thing, because this is another thing I don't like that Packers fans say too. They're like, well, imagine it could be a whole lot worse. It could be that you're a Bears fan and you never win. Well, first of all, why are we comparing ourselves to Bears fans? And this is no disrespect to the Bears. I mean, y'all won today, cool. But like, why are we comparing ourselves to poverty franchises? Why? I think as a Bears fan, you want right now, with as bad as things get, you just want to get better, right? You want to get better. You won 5 games this year. Next year, you probably want to win 8. As a Packers fan, you've been a wild card for a while now. You just want to get a little bit better, maybe win the division or maybe take the 6th or 5th seed from last year. Instead, you're not getting better. So instead of comparing to a poverty franchise, which you shouldn't even be doing in the first place, compare to where you've been and where you're going. The Packers are not ascending; they're descending, and you can see that from LaFleur's resume. NFC Championship, missed playoffs, divisional round, and then whatever happens this year, he's descending. I'm sorry, he is, and either that or other organizations are passing you, and then that's another issue. Well, why are they passing you? I mean, we talk about we're reloading, not rebuilding. If you're a reload team, no one should ever pass you. That's the scary part.
That's the thing, though. Like, a lot of these teams that are passing you had to be bad to get good players in the first round draft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these teams have top 10 picks, and Packers don't have top 10 picks ever.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying is, like, it's hard to do that. So these teams are doing it a lot faster than Packers, right?
Yes, but you also got to look at the way the Packers draft. They don't get the best player out there for their most important need. I don't think we do that. I think we draft in the first round for like 5 years down the road. That's not going to win Super Bowls either. And the fact that the Packers haven't realized that is absolutely wild to me. You invested in Van Ness, and you don't even play him most of the first year when he was healthy. And then you bring in Morgan, and he doesn't even play at all his first season, and then even gets injured. So, yes, you don't have that first pick. You don't have that second pick. You don't have that third pick.
But you're not even top 10. Not even the top 10. That's what I'm saying.
But Andrew, like in the 2020 season, when we lost to the Bucks, we were and everyone said, man, the Packers are really just another receiver away. That draft pick, when we went in, Zay Flowers, I think, was on the board. Jamar Chase maybe was on the board. And like we passed him up. We passed him up, and we took a defensive player. I think we took Love. And it's just like, even you don't need the best pick, because in the draft, you're always amazed at who's still there when it's your turn to pick. There's still always a great player there, and you don't go with it.
What's the most important position on that? I guess that's where I'm beginning. What's the most important position on the field? The quarterback position, right?
Quarterback, yes.
The quarterback position, right? So if your team does not have a good quarterback, you're not going to be a good team. So Rodgers was eventually going to leave. Now, again, Packers always get rid of the talent a year earlier rather than a year later. So if we would have kept Rodgers until he was how he's looking right now with the Jets, and then we try to go get a quarterback and try to develop him out the gate, I don't know if we're still a good team. I think we might be a 5 or 6 win team if we do that.
If it doesn't take, if you need a good quarterback to be a good team, how does Nick Foles beat Tom Brady in the playoff in the Super Bowl? How does Jimmy Garoppolo get to the Super Bowl?
That's one game. That's one game.
No. Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl and played all season. How does that happen?
Because they have a good team.
Okay, so yes, I mean, we can agree that quarterback is important, but I disagree that you're.
I was going to say, look at Brock Purdy now. When they needed Brock Purdy this season, he looks terrible.
Yeah, but they've been there. They've consistently been there. Of course, they might have 1 year where it's bad, but see, this is the difference between the Packers and the Niners. The Niners got to observe Purdy last year, the year before that, and this year. This year might have actually saved the Niners money. With the
now what are they going to do at quarterback?
I mean, so you're saying it's more better to waste money on Love and hope it pans out?
I'm not saying that's better, but I'm just saying that's this devil. That's the pros or cons. So that's what I'm saying though. Like.
So you think the way Texans did things, you think it's going to come back and haunt them?
What do you mean?
Getting CJ Stroud and starting him. You think it's going to come back and haunt them?
No, but they were a sorry team to get CJ. So that's what I'm saying. Like like they were terrible with Davis Mills.
Okay. So hold up. So you're saying you got to have a number 1 through 10 to get a good quarterback?
Not saying that, but it helps to get good draft picks.
I mean, come on. Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in the league, and we got him as a 20-something.
Right, because he sat behind Brett Favre. But you're making my point. He sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years. He didn't start right away.
I don't. But see that so if we're saying that, we're saying that like it's kind of like saying like, oh, you have to sit behind someone in order to be great.
And I'm not arguing. I'm just saying that we can't do that because if
I mean I don't know. Like I said, personally, I think the Packers are good enough to win these games. I just think bad coaching stops us from winning it.
For sure,
I mean,
for sure.
Like because look, I know a lot of people, especially when we root for our teams, if we are having a bad game, like, man, we just didn't show up today, we get mad as fans, right? But think about it. Today was one of those days where we just didn't show up. It looked ugly, and guess what? Something still happened for the Packers to win the game. The Carrington Valentine fumble in their position or in their side of their field, 149 on the play clock, or on the time clock. Bears only have one timeout left. They really can't stop the clock. If you want to call it the football gods, they put a way for you to win the game, and you still go out and blow it. That is not being a good team. That's not having a bad defense. That's not having a bad offense. That's not having a bad special teams. That is coaching. That is coaching. Not only is it coaching, McManus had to come save your ass with a 55-yarder. And then you're saying, you know what, defense, go out and save the game. Why does the defense have to go out and save the game? It shouldn't even come to that. That's why I do not trust LaFleur.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, we can't sit here as an organization and be mad at. Yeah, we're gonna have mixed picks, but I'm mad at the organization for some of the picks they made when we're still competitive. Yes, we want to win the Super Bowl. Yes,
but like, can you agree that like if I'm a Bear, like, okay, let's say who's worse than the Bears? Let's take the Titans. Let's say if I'm a Titans fan and it's the same thing over and over, you're gonna get mad, right?
Right.
Okay. So there's levels to this then. If we're like the one and done wild card team all the time, eventually you're gonna be fed up with it, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. But instead we try to comfort that and say, well, it could be worse. We could be the Titans. Why are you comparing yourself to the Titans, bro? You're not the Titans. I don't care about the Titans. I care about you getting better. Just show me that you're getting better, and then hey, we're in the right direction. The thing is, you're not getting better. So for me, I think they're going backwards. I think they played better.
But I guess okay, that's where we're done because because that NFC Championship team, that was a whole different team than what the team we have now. So I can't. Right now, they're staying the same.
You can argue that this team has more weapons than the 2020 team. All we had was Devontae. You can argue that we have more weapons now.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a different team. Like I mean. Like I said, we're still the second or the youngest team in the league, so you gotta give it time. I think you still gotta give this team time before we can say.
Let me ask you this: what? Because
you're going back. You're looking at from when Matt LaFleur started, which was a whole different team to compare to the team now.
But you figured like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, if Aaron Rodgers and that team was still doing the same thing, and then they were making the divisional rounds, then yes, I would agree with you that they're getting worse.
But okay, so here's my
thing. You're like comparing apples to oranges almost.
Okay, but let's also look at the Vikings. Did anyone have O'Connell out coaching LaFleur this year? Anyone? Did anyone have it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I think do you think LaFleur goes 14-3 with the Vikings? I don't. If LaFleur is a Vikings head coach, do you think they're still in the position they are right now to win tonight?
I think so. They're close.
I don't. He leaves too much points on the board. He don't play smart, man. I think he loses a lot of those close games because a lot of their games are one-score possession wins. I don't think LaFleur wins those games. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't think he wins those games. But I really wanted me and Andrew to go at it before I bring up some people, but let's go ahead and bring up people because if y'all been listening, I know I've been talking about a lot. That's if you guys are still in. But yeah, y'all can request to come in if y'all want. Yeah, the guests already left. Okay, I guess they both left. But so let's get into someone does want to come up. Give us a second. Hey, yeah, what's up, man?
So tonight, it was a bad game. Showed up. Well, first our special teams was not great. Like we had that fumble. Obviously, he got it back and he punted it, gathered himself. Then we had the punt return. Like I just think, I mean, we obviously outplayed the Bears on offense. We had what, 200 more yards. I mean, we should have won that game, and that's 100% coaching. I totally agree with you on that one. Like we still handled as players. I feel like we played awesome with Brooks. I mean, and then Emmanuel Sanders or Wilson. Sorry, like we played really good. I just think coaching needs to get a lot better for the playoffs, and I think coaching is really the reason we lost that one.
Yeah, I think coaching 110% too, bro. I mean, are you a Packers fan?
Yeah, I'm a Packers fan.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, anything can happen in the playoffs, and I'm hoping LaFleur can prove me wrong in the playoffs. But as of right now, I don't trust him. What's up, BPED?
Hi.
Yeah, what's up?
Who lost that?
Yeah.
I know, it's like it's a frustrating game when that happens. We shouldn't have to rely on a field goal to beat the Bears twice this season.
Yeah.
Sup?
What's up, Lil Joe?
What's up?
Hey, man, how old are y'all? Y'all sound like y'all are 8.
I'm 14.
I'm 34.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for coming up, man.
I just want to say something real quick.
Hold up. What's up, Austin?
Hey, so I'm a Bears fan, and I'm not gonna lie, we did not deserve to win that game.
Yeah.
No lie.
Yeah. Well, I think up to the point where y'all fumbled the ball at the end, I think up to that point y'all deserve to win. But when y'all make that mistake, though, I think the Packers should have capitalized and punished you guys for it. And they just left too much time on the clock. And then Caleb Williams, I mean, yes, I understand he's a rookie, but he's a number 1 pick. You don't leave him that much time. And then the fact that you can't stop him either. I mean, I kind of feel like I agree with you, but I also feel like the Packers deserve to lose also.
Yeah, I mean, I was just happy that we won because last time we beat y'all, I was in 7th grade and I graduated last year, so it's been a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So as a Bears fan, what you like Caleb?
Yeah, I mean, I was mad with it at first, but I think he's played well considering the circumstances with his offensive line and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this year was a total bust just because Caleb Williams at least looks good. He doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
So that's good, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, man. I appreciate you coming up, bro.
Yep, have a good one.
Anything else you want to say before I bring up someone else?
No, I'm good.
Hey, Austin, thank you for the follow. What's up, Gavin?
Hey man, just sick of fucking. I don't know if we're supposed to swear or not, but just sick of getting into any sort of big game and seeing Matt LaFleur pissed down his leg. Last year, look at last year. We played in how many big games in a row from the end of the regular season, to the playoffs. I was in Dallas last year. He was calling great games, not being too conservative, scheming things up, doing all that. Now we go to this year, and I don't know if it's our receivers regressed, somebody regressed. Offenses look clunky all year. We haven't been smooth. Receivers aren't getting the same amount of separation. Jordan Love's been inaccurate. stuff like that worries me. I don't know if I'm in the minority there or what, but just seeing how we played last year to this year, at the same point, we just look like two completely different teams.
Yeah, I think that's my issue with LaFleur. Not that he's a bad coach, because he's not. But my issue with LaFleur is he's an inconsistent coach. Kind of like what you said. He went off last year for a while. Even this year, there was a stretch of like 5 games where we scored over 30 points. But then that drops off the next week and the week after that. And I just feel like he's very inconsistent. So like I sit there and ask myself, do I want an inconsistent coach leading my team? The answer is no, I don't. But
you got a guy like Dan Campbell. I mean, he gets a bunch of heat for going for it on 4th down all the time. But at least he's going to stick to his guns, and that's what he does. And I feel like players really buy into that. And
well, I mean,
that kind of thing.
Even with LaFleur, I think it's more of his time management. I think he loses a lot of his games because of his situational play calling and time management. Not so much anything else. Like, I think it's just those two main things. Like the fact that you get the ball back with 149 left and you don't know how to manage that, I think that's wild. I mean, you're the head coach of a professional football team. I think
today at the end of the game, I get you want to keep the clock on and make them use timeouts, but 3rd and 4 we were at, we can still kick a field goal if we even throw an incompletion, but say we run it right up the middle. That, and then the drive before, we ran that end around to Jaden Reed.
Yeah, that was a good play call too.
And it's like, why do we just give us a chance, man? I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
You gotta have something better in the playbook, I think. But,
yeah, and I mean, like, I think it's also a bad look losing to the Bears, who've lost. They haven't won since October 13th, and if you look at their games, they haven't looked great in those games either. And then they come into Lambeau in a game that you don't absolutely need it. That's a lie. You don't need it. But like you said, big games, LaFleur does not show up, and that's why I don't know, man. I mean, I hope he can prove me wrong in the playoffs.
I think
But
he's got, to be honest, I think he's got a tiny sack, man.
a what?
Just a tiny sack.
Oh,
He's got tiny balls. I mean, it's just. You can even go back to when we still had Rodgers against Brady in the NFC Championship when we didn't go for it on 4th and 8 and just said, hey, here's the ball back, Tom Brady. Anybody that watches football knows how that was going to go.
yeah, and we never. Honestly, that was the first time I took one foot out the door on the floor because I think on that when he chose to kick the field goal instead of go for it against the Bucs, we never got the ball back. So my thing is, you only kick that field goal if you're getting the ball back. So aside from that, you go for it. I think Aaron Rodgers knew you should go for it. On the press conference, he talked about it, and then even on a podcast, they questioned him on it too. And like he kind of rejected the question, which that's another thing I don't like about LaFleur. When he gets called out for his bad decision making, he doesn't like to own it.
He gets pissed and then talks down on the reporters like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't know football
Yeah.
or something like that. It's just really fun. It's just condescending. It's like, dude, they're doing their job first off. Second off, you're not really doing a great job at your job. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild stuff. I like LaFleur. I think he does some really good things, but I think he just shoots himself in the foot
Yeah.
the majority of the time. He just can't get out of his own way.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think if the Packers let him go, he's going to be a head coach somewhere else. I don't think he's a bad coach. But I agree 100%. He shoots himself in the foot, but like the reason why I don't like that is because it hurts the team. It hurts the team, and I mean, like I said, if the team drives down the field and puts you in a situation they take points, you got to take the points, especially if it's early in the game. And then, I mean, I don't know, but like LaFleur doesn't like to do that for whatever reason. But Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, like he does got to make better decisions. I just was on Twitter looking at some of the press conference quotes, and that's what does get annoying with me with Matt LaFleur. It's the same quote. We got to be better. We got to be better. We got to be better. It's the same thing. Like, when are we going to be better? Like you can only say so much before you have to go do it.
Yeah, at this point, I think LaFleur, he doesn't know how to get better, and he knows that response to the media is not going to hurt him too much, But if you're a fan with brain cells, you know that if you continue to say the same thing but don't change, that's insanity. Like there's gonna come a time where no one trusts you anymore. They don't believe you anymore. And I think fans are getting to that point. Like, hey, you say this every week, like nothing changes. Like, yes, people are gonna start jumping off the LaFleur train. The good thing about LaFleur is he's a good coach, and I do think he can flip it around any moment. But we just haven't seen it, man. We haven't seen it.
I also think we need to, get a change of philosophy for drafting pass rushers and drafting wide receivers. We got a good core, but you need a guy that can go out there and you're absolutely certain he's going to get at least a little separation. And even if he doesn't, he's still going to catch the ball on, like a little 3-step slant or something like that, right around the end zone or something like that. We just don't have that. I mean, you look at Dave Reed, he's a stud. He's top 3 in drop percentage in the whole NFL. Christian Watson can't stay healthy. He's great when he's out there, but can't stay healthy. And then we got, Bo Melton and Malik Heath and Romeo Dobbs and all that kind of thing. But we have too many drops. We don't have one guy we can be like, oh, yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like another, hey, Boney, I'm gonna bring you in real fast. Just give me a second. But like another thing that I didn't like from what I saw today, I didn't like that. Like LaFleur didn't really seem like he wanted to win this game. I mean, you see Jacobs on the sideline. I don't know why he was on the sideline all game. I mean, I'm okay with leaving Malik in because I mean he's been a winner all year. He just didn't get it done today. But I mean, you could argue that it wasn't his fault. But like, I think Jacob should have been in there. I mean, like, why are you not trying to win this game? Like, for me, that's a big issue, man. For me, it just seems like he's scared that his players are gonna get hurt. I mean,
That's how he is, though. I just feel like he's just a scared dude, and he doesn't want to be blamed for something that goes wrong, or
Yeah.
he doesn't want to take accountability when it.
yeah,
And like you said, when people bring it up, he gets all mad, and
yeah.
you don't know football and all this stuff. So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it's sad because I've actually heard him say that, and I'm like, dude, like I know the media is bad, but like if they call you on your shit, like I mean, you shouldn't flip it on them. You should own it. But
No, and there's plenty of media members that know a bunch about football and have been doing it way longer than he's even been in Green Bay. A place like Green Bay, a lot of those journalists and stuff have been there since they were, 24, 25, 26, and they're in their 50s, 60s now. So
yeah.
they know a thing or two, and
Yeah.
it's just frustrating for them.
And if I'm being honest, I don't think the media is cooking him enough. I think they should be cooking him more. So I
think that last year kind of helps them because everyone kind of remembers that. But this year, like I said, just a completely different story, man.
yeah. But hey, what's up, Boney?
What's up? I don't know, just kind of from what I watched during the game, I feel like the end around, like to Jaden Reed, I don't even know if that was the right play call at all. Like I feel like since you've been running most of the game, I say you play action. I don't know why we're doing a jet sweep. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't get that play call.
Yeah, I don't think none of us like that play call. Clearly, if it was the right one, it would have worked. So I think that kind of proves that it wasn't.
And I just the fact that it's came down to field goals. Both of the Bears games this year is kind of wicked.
Yeah, I mean, like the other thing that's scary is like if we're just judging off this year, it looks like the Vikings have surpassed the Packers, the Lions have surpassed the Packers, and it looks like the Bears are getting close to surpassing you too. Like, I mean, I know the record doesn't show it, but they should have beat you both games.
I mean, I get Jordan Love got hurt at the beginning of the year, but like I don't know how he goes from being so like great and amazing last year to being this kind of not anywhere near where he was.
Yeah, I think his injury and now that team's got film on him, I think that has a lot to do with it. So I think it's very important what J Love does in the offseason this year to combat that, because if he doesn't up his game, they're just going to continue pounding him.
And then another thing, I think that, I mean, you guys we've always ran the ball, but like I feel like this year has been a lot different. Like we're super run heavy. So I feel like maybe that's kind of what the difference is, and we maybe just haven't fully adapted to the run heavy offense. and it's just not working as well as we want it to. It's worked, but then it hasn't worked. So I feel like you got to play action more out of it if you're going to run the ball almost, 50% of the game or more. You got to play action out of it more. Like, it's just that whole game that I watched, it was just run after run after run, and then there was this dumb third down pass. Like, you got to run, then maybe play action on a second down. Like, it's just too run heavy.
Well, I mean, Emmanuel Wilson averaged 5 yards a carry. Chris Brooks averaged 7.4 yards a carry, and Josh Jacobs averaged 7.3 yards a carry.
I don't know. I'm not saying they didn't run well, but like, if you keep them on their feet and you just throw a play action pass, that's where you can get a big play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've said that before. I told Andrew that we need to run more play act because I think the Lions on every pass play, just about they run play action. And I think the Packers need to adopt some of that, keep that defense honest, especially if Jacobs is in the backfield. Like, they're going to bite on Jacobs. I mean, but yeah, I agree with the play action. Anything else you want to say, Andrew?
Yeah, no, more play action. I hate running out of shotgun. I feel like we need to run more from under center. That's just me, but
yeah. Well, and another thing that the Packers are not good at, but then again, a lot of NFL teams are not good on that. Like, even on some of these play actions, like, the Packers aren't even on the same page. Like, there was a play where Malik tried to play action to the running back, but the running back didn't even go with the play action. He was running the other side. Like, I mean, we got to get on the same page here, man. Like, if not, yeah, the Eagles are going to come in and punch you in the mouth if you do not come to play. I mean, the good thing is it was a good game with the Eagles in the first game of the season, so anything can happen. Of course, they're going to try
That's
to –
another thing. Here, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like even though the Commanders probably have a really high chance of beating the Cowboys, I think you still should have played your starters because you could have gone up against the Rams instead of going up against the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that they didn't play their starters either. I think they sat Jaden Daniels. I'm a little shocked at that, but
well, it's gonna pay off now, I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I appreciate you all coming up, man. But yeah, so that's where I stand, Andrew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like I said. If we keep playing like we've been playing like these past 2 weeks, we're not gonna look good in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll be here watching, but I mean, we're gonna have to play perfect football, man.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think with Watson out, I highly doubt he plays next week.
Oh yeah, I think he might be.
And then we don't even know if Love is gonna be 100% with that elbow.
He said he should be good next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
said if he had to come back into the game, like if this was a must-win game, he would have been in the game.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah. So,
Zay, thank you for sharing the live. We're gonna bring up one more guest and then probably end it, Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still in. Yo, what's up, Zay?
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
You do? How do you think y'all guys do against the Eagles? With the way that y'all played today, and I get a lot of people probably wasn't trying to play too hard, but how do you feel that y'all do against the Eagles? And do you think y'all make it past the first round?
Are you gonna go?
Well, first of all, when I observe the Eagles, I think they're the most talented team in the league. However, I don't think Jalen is great. Now, he can prove me wrong next week. He can. But I think if the Packers just stop Saquon, it's going to be a close game. But if Saquon goes wild, yeah, I think the Packers go home.
Yeah, my cousin, he's a huge Green Bay fan. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. And I was literally just on the phone with him, and I was telling him, I'm like, you guys are going to have to stop Saquon. If you stop Saquon, then the next thing that y'all are going to have to do is just kind of slow down the passing. If you can slow down the receivers, AJ, and which it's not an easy task, but if somehow, some way y'all can manage to do that, Philly hasn't really played that great. They're kind of like Kansas City, how Kansas City was playing. They were playing like they were winning, but it was like real skeptical. So if y'all could manage to somehow, some way, get them to play that way and avoid the tush push at the end zone goal line, y'all could do it.
Yeah.
But the only thing about that is with being the 7th seed, if you do make it past the Philadelphia Eagles, you then go play the number 1 seed, which could potentially be the Lions or Minnesota.
Yeah. If I'm being honest with you, though, if we can get past the Eagles, I feel confident going in and beating whoever's the number 1 seed. One, because they're a division opponent. We've already seen them 2 times this year. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. I do think that game will probably be even more closer than the Packers-Eagles. But the Eagles are just so talented. Like, they're a very talented team. The other teams, they're not so much talented, but they can win. I think the Eagles are the most dangerous team in the playoffs, if I'm being honest, at least on the NFC side, because of all the talent they have, which means they can afford to make mistakes and still come out on top because of all the talent they have. Vikings and Lions, yes, they got some talent, but nothing like the Eagles. Like, they still got to play good all game to win in the playoffs. So, and since it's a division opponent, you know them. So, I mean, no matter who's the first seed, as long as we can get past the Eagles, I would feel pretty confident going in against whoever.
So I was going to let you finish, but you said nothing like the Eagles. The Vikings have literally. This is no like jump on. There's nobody in the NFC who's a receiver. You can't say AJ is better than Justin Jefferson. Even his Jordan Addison, his partner receiver, that's tough. If you send people to double team Justin Jefferson, then you have even if you worry about Jordan Addison, you then have to worry about the space tight end, which is going to be TJ Hawkinson, who's going to come through the middle. And even if you was to try to stop those 3, you still have Aaron Jones coming out the backfield. And if he can't do it, then Cam Akers. I get it, Sam Darnold, and I get everybody's still skeptical. Hell, sometimes I'm like, damn, Sam, what are you going to do? But that's a lot of weapons that you got to really try to focus on, and somebody's going to be open at some point in time.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just that, like, there's something about a divisional opponent also. Like, I mean, why did the Commanders beat the Eagles but no one else could? It's because they're a division opponent. They know them well, and they pull out a victory. I mean, Eagles defense, if you're looking at numbers, and the Eagles defense has been better than Minnesota's. I think Minnesota is second behind Eagles in the NFC. I think Eagles is 1. Vikings is second. Eagles O-line is way better than the Minnesota's O-line, but I mean, Minnesota's isn't that bad either. So I mean, I'm just saying as a complete team, the Eagles are a lot better than the Vikings. And I mean, like I said, we're basing off the Eagle game like we would have to base it off week 1. Well, a lot has changed since week 1. If we go up against the Eagles, if we go up against the Vikings or Lions, well, we played them recently, right? So like, you know more or less what you're gonna get. But the Eagles, I mean, things have changed since week 1. So I do think that it makes it a little bit more like you got to be on your toes more with the Eagles than Lions and Vikings. Because the truth is, I mean, I don't know. I think whoever gets that 5th seed can lose to the Bucks. If it's the Minnesota or Lions, I think they can lose to the Bucks, if I'm being honest, whoever gets that 5th seed.
Yeah, that would be tough. I mean, going to Tampa Bay is probably going to be a little iffy. And I saw somebody said Jalen Naylor too. I forgot about him, but he is a key piece. But going to Tampa Bay is definitely going to be a little bit tough. I'm not even going. I see us winning this game, the Vikings. But even if we don't win this game, I can see us going strong on the road. I mean, we did it throughout the season. I don't think Tampa Bay is somebody that would be too afraid of. I mean, Mike Evans, that's fine. I don't think we're worried about Baker Mayfield throwing too much. It's just a defensive scheme with Brian Flores. It's like, I don't know. Our hardest matchup, I think, is going to be Detroit by the Eagles.
Do you, as a Vikings fan, I actually have the Vikings winning tonight, but as a Vikings fans, if they get blown out tonight, are you concerned?
If they get blown out,
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would happen in any way, shape, or form.
I don't
The only way we get blown out tonight is if Sam Darnold throws 2-3 picks and it's just not going correct. Like, literally, it would happen. Even our defense scored. We have at least a turnover in every game.
Yeah, that's
Like,
wild.
defensively, we would literally. That's why they're over there doing dances and everything. They're literally having fun. Yes, sometimes they give up a lot of like passing yards, but when it gets down to the red zone, you gotta score. Kicking a field goal ain't gonna do it. So it's like, I don't think we would get blown out. Blown out means defense isn't doing anything. That means offense isn't doing anything. That means it's just a complete shit show. Now, has that happened before? Yes. When we played Philly in the NFC Championship game after that Minnesota Miracle, we act like we forgot how to play. So is it possible? Yes. I don't think this year with the way Kevin O'Connell is coaching, with Brian Flores, the way that he's coaching, I just don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a close game. It's either going to be a low-scoring game or it's going to be a very high-scoring game.
What do you want to say, Andrew?
Yeah, no, going back to the original question, I don't feel confident going into Philly as right now, the way we looked the past 2 weeks. I don't feel confident. But it's any given Sunday or Saturday, whatever day we play, end up playing. Anything could happen, so they got to go out there and play. I agree, we got to stop Saquon. But I don't even think of that. I think it's more of our offense has got to do something. Our offense has got to do something against that Philly defense.
Yeah.
Because we can stop Saquon all we want, but if we're not moving the ball and scoring points, they're still going to find way. Like that team, like you said, that team is too talented that they're going to eventually score something. And if our offense can't do anything, then we're back at home.
The good thing, I do trust our offensive line to protect Love, but these receivers, they got to make something happen. And the Eagles are the number one defense in the NFC, I think. So that's what I'm saying. If you can get past the number one defense, then yeah, I feel confident against going the Vikings or Lions. I mean, we got to go on the road anyway. So let's.
Yeah, we're on the road regardless. We got to beat good teams. So
I mean, we know that, even if we're the 1 seed, you got to play a good team to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, it helps to get that home field advantage. It helps to get that bye. But how many 1 seeds have failed? Like plenty.
I mean, we've had the 1 seed numerous times and lost.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like,
yeah. But I mean, I think
I just came in to give my little 2 cents. I definitely dropped a follow. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Hopefully, y'all watch the game. And
yeah, I'll tune in for sure, man. Good luck to y'all tonight.
Sure.
All right. Anything else you got to say, Andrew?
nah.
Yeah. Let's just look through some comments real fast. Someone said Caleb Williams is a baby. Well, he won today. They said that the Bears played backups and won by 2. That's not true. I saw DJ Moore out there all game, Keenan Allen all game, Swift out there all game, Williams out there all game.
If anything, we played backups.
Yeah.
We had a backup quarterback, a backup running backs.
Yeah.
I
mean, it still sucks because I still feel like he should have won the game.
Oh, for sure. I'm not using that excuse, but I'm just saying, like, to address that comment, they didn't have their backups. We had backups.
Yeah, Miles says Packers losing 2 games in a row after doing well is insane. Yeah, especially when it's 2 divisional opponents. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Yeah, but all right, guys, tough loss today. Next week is the schedule out yet?
Not yet. We don't know if we play. I think it's probably going to come out after all these games. So we either play on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. So it's for sure Packers Eagles, right?
Yeah, for sure Packers Eagles. Yeah, I think the only playoff picture that's still up for grabs, well, of course, is for the number 1 seed in the NFC. But I think this Denver game, and Denver, Miami, and Cincy are all fighting for that last wild card spot. I think in the AFC.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. It's been real. The watch party, the recap. But yeah, we've been on for a while now. It's time to do some other stuff. But yeah, next week, Packers, Eagles will be here. You're gonna be able to do it, right?
Yeah, should be. Whether it's Saturday or Sunday. So
we'll do another watch party. But for now, we're gonna go out. As always, go Pack Go. Gonna get a victory next week, man.